Hi guys, it's me Marva. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to start on some Halloween coasters. We're going to do some resin coasters. And the resin we're using is Dr. Resin. I got it on Amazon. It's fairly inexpensive. It is a 1-to-1 mixed resin. It's a casting and coating epoxy resin. I found it's worked pretty good. I've used it a few times. Well, I've almost used the whole bottle, and find it that it's really good hardening resin. Seems to work really well. It is very low odor. Always use your PPE when you're using resin. I do mix my resin outside, so I choose not to wear PPE because I'm not mixing it indoors. Once you get it mixed, you're still supposed to wear it, but I choose not to when I'm pouring. I am in a porch area where I have a fan and a door open to the outside, so I'm not in an enclosed area. If you're in a well-ventilated area, it might not be a bad idea, but still wear your PPE. I also have my gloves on. I have here 4 coaster molds. I got them off of Amazon. I'll put the link in there as well. They're not super deep. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to pour just a thin layer in. I did check them. They take just a little less than 2 ounces each, so I'm going to put about an ounce in each one. I have mixed up 4 ounces of my resin. You stir your resin anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes depending on the directions to the resin. And then I'm going to divide it up equally because I'm going to dye my resin. The dye I'm using is called Miracle Iku resin pigment. I have purple here, and then I have orange. And I may need to put a little red because I want a fairly dark orange. I do want these to be fairly dark backgrounds because I want to be able to put another layer over the top of it. We're actually going to use acrylic paint, and we're going to paint a design on there, just a small design, and then maybe add some embellishments to it. And once we're done doing that, then we're going to clear coat it, and our coasters will be done. I love Halloween. Probably my favorite holiday ever. I used to work at a job where the entire month of October was a Halloween event, and 4 nights a week, if we chose to, we could dress up in costume. And for about 10 years, I think I did that every single night, the entire month of October, for the whole time. So, it tells you how much I like Halloween. It was so much fun. We would, you'd get to pick your costumes out. And then the whole crew, everybody was dressed in costumes, so it made it really fun. Very, very fun job. And especially at that time of the year. And it's so amazing the creativity people had, where they would come in their costumes. The whole families would be in like theme costumes. And you're like, wow, these are so neat. It was just amazing. Good times. Okay, so I need to shake up my ink, or my pigment really, really well. A lot of times these settle in the bottom. Now I did cut the tips of these off because they are very, very, very fine. And if you don't cut the tip off, it's literally going to take forever because the bottles are kind of hard to squeeze. I'm going to give it a few good squirts here. And then I'm going to stir this up and see what color we have. I said I want it to be a fairly dark purple. This is probably going to be a fairly translucent color, which means you're going to be able to see through it if you hold it up to the light. And I really don't want that a whole lot. You see here, this is the color we're getting so far. I may add just a drop of black to this to darken it even more. Actually, I'm going to add my black acrylic ink to it. I'm going to add a drop of that to it just to put 2 drops in it. Want to be sure you stir it up really, really good in here, so you don't end up with like strands of color. Very pretty. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, I like that color. This is a lot darker. And I don't mind if it's a little bit translucent. I just don't want it super clear because I said we're going to be painting over the top of it. And we kind of want this to be a night sky in the background. And this one we're going to do the same thing with the orange. I'll set this over here to the side just to make sure I don't accidentally spill it, because I could see myself doing that. Okay, again, we're going to shake this up really, 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 really good. I've got my red out because I may need to add some red to this orange. I don't know how yellow orange this is. This is one of them I haven't cut the tip off yet. Yeah, I'm going to cut the tip off here. Alright, got the tip cut off here. This. Give it a good squirt in here. Oh, like I said, I want it to be fairly dark, so... And it's actually a really pretty color. Still a little translucent. Usually like that shade. I may put a spot of black in that just to darken it a hair. Very, very pretty. Get that pretty. I'll put a little bit more in there. Put about 4 more drops of that in. And I think I'm going to put a drop of black in here as well. And we're going to stir that up. This resin does take about 24 hours to fully cure. After about 12 hours you can work with it a little bit. It will be hardened enough I can start putting some of the embellishments on. And I'll come back when we get ready to do that. It's almost turned a brown color now. I think I put in too much black. Add a little bit more orange back into it. Don't mind it a dark orange because it's going to be a night sky in the background. Yeah. So, what is your favorite Halloween movie? If you are a scary movie fan, I love scary movies. Love, 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 love them. Don't know if I could pick a favorite. A lot of the classics, of course, I love. One of my favorites, I think, that still scares me to this day, and I think it's just a jump factor, is the black and white Night of the Living Dead. Still scares me to this day, even though I love it. Alright, this is turning out really pretty. It's going to be a darker color than I thought, but I'm fine with that. A bit more in here. Alright. And we got our purple here. Show you the purple. Very pretty color. Oh, that's going to be a pretty sky. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some bats and some spiders coming. And what I think we're going to do is, we're going to do, maybe on the 2 purple ones, I think I'm going to do a silhouette of a haunted house in the background. and some bats in the sky. And on the orangish one, I think I'm going to do a spider web and some spiders. And maybe an old tree or something in the background. I haven't decided quite completely on that one. So one thing I like about this resin is it's like basically almost zero bubbles. I haven't had an issue with that, but I had one resin that I had used that was one of the lesser expensive ones, and it got so many bubbles in it. And I mean, I know you can pop the bubbles, but sometimes they sneak up on you. You think you got them all, and then you walk away, and you think, oh, I'll come back and check on that, and by the time you do, it's then cured too much because you forgot about it, and then you have bubbles on it. Now, I don't want to burn my mold, so what I'm going to use is a long neck lighter, and I'm just going to lightly go over it in case there are any bubbles. You can use a torch. I also have a heat gun. If it was a bigger project, I probably would use a heat gun. Alright. Okay guys, so we're going to leave these secure, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll do our next step. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. These are hardened really nice. They cured really well. My orange, I believe, is going to be pretty dark, almost black. So what we're going to do with these is, I have here acrylic paint pens. They're acrylic markers similar to Posca's. The brand is Morphone. Been pretty good little markers. I bought this set off of Amazon. I will put the link in the description box below. And then I also have some finer tip markers. And I also got those off of Amazon. These came in a set. I believe it was a set of 4. They're really nice because they are a really fine tip. So if you want to get details. So what we're going to do with these, with the purple ones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little haunted house up here in the corner. And then I'm going to draw a big yellow moon. Both of these. And then I've got some little bats. I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to come back. And I have some little bats. And I'm going to put bats flying across the sky. Little bat 3D. And then I'm going to top it off with a clear layer of resin over the top. With the orange ones, I'm going to put a tree. Spooky tree. And then I'm going to put a spider web. And I'm going to put little spiders on it, and then it's going to get a clear coat of resin. So we're going to do the background scenery. If I had a deeper mold, you could actually make this very, 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 very 3D. I could do the houses in the background, and then pour another layer of resin over the top of that. Then do the, if I want to do a tree or the moon, I could do the moon. And then pour another layer of resin over that, then do the bats and another layer of resin over that, and it looks extremely 3D. There's been several YouTube artists that have painted this same, I've done resin 3D. There's a young lady called Nerdforge. She is amazing. She has done it. Jazza, another amazing artist, he's done it. I will leave both of their links in the description box. But if you get a chance, go check out the 3D ones. And that's with a deeper mold. My mold is very thin. It's going to be just enough to cover up the little bats. And that's fine with me. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start out, I'm going to move the 2 orange ones aside. And I'm going to work on these 2 here. So because my purple background's pretty dark, I'm going to use the black. And I'm going to do a line about 2/3 of the way down. And then I'm going to kind of just lightly scribble in what would be maybe dirt. Or maybe even do a trail here coming down. So I'm going to do black around this outside edge. Maybe some black right here. black right there. I'll do a bit more right here. I'll make it look like the trail's coming down from the haunted house. Okay, so got the back laid out for the trail. Always shake your markers really, really well. I have my paper beside me here. I'm dabbing it on it. You have to push in on these markers to get them to start. Usually once you get them started, they flow pretty good. So I'm going to make my little path coming down here. And curve it around. And we're going to bring the path down. Okay. Let me show you here what we've done. You see here, I got my little path coming down and around. Got the black in the background behind it. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Move that one over just for a minute. Again, we're going to go about 2/3 of the way down. The line doesn't have to be straight. We're just making a path here for a haunted house to sit on. This is just supposed to be the grass or the dirt, but because it's nighttime and it's really black, so. And you could totally do these with clear if you wanted to, and you could actually make the grass green if that's what you wanted. You can do all kinds. It doesn't even have to be Halloween scenes. You could do any scene you wanted to and paint it on here. You know, you can look up little items for reference. I'm sure if you have any kind of Halloween decor, you can look at some of it for references. Kind of know what the Halloween haunted houses look like and stuff, so I'm just going to kind of do it from memory here. And there's a lot of different styles of them, but I'm going to kind of go with one of the classic ones. Across here with my gray. Once this gray dries, I'm going to come back in and put a few like little rocks and stuff with the black to give it a little bit of dimension and texture. I'll give it a little bit more of a realistic look. Of course, I don't want it doesn't need to be super realistic. I think this pen's about to die. Usually when you can hear the bead rattling that much, it's not a good sign. like we might be running out of this silver. In this worst case scenario, you just improvise if that's the case. I might get enough out of it to finish it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to improvise, and we're going to add a little bit of gold to this one. And we'll add a little bit to the other one as well. And we'll add a little bit of gold to this one too. Alright. So here's what we've got so far now. This is our little path. And then we're going to take the black and we're going to make a little bit of a mound here. It's just going to come from the path, little past the path going over. And I'm going to do that on both of them. Now, the style of haunted house that we're going to do is actually going to be kind of a rectangle that goes up on the ends. So it's going to be, comes out to a point. And we're going to leave a little spot here for the windows, for the first window. And then we're going to do the same thing here for the door, the second window, okay, so I have my two doors and a window. I don't know how well you can see that. You'll see it a lot better when I put the light in the window. And then I'm going to make the roof. And the roof again is going to be kind of a similar thing, just on the opposite way. Very pointy roof eaves. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the second story. With that, I'm just going to put one single window in it. Another little roof on top with a pointy peak and a flat part, because we're going to have a third story. And then the third story is just going to be a straight vertical rectangle with a little spot for a light and a little bitty teeny tiny roof on it. Can you see these? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to do the rectangle. It's going to go up. It's going to come over all the way to the far right hand side of the coaster. And it's going to be slightly higher on the top and come out more. The bottom's going to be a little more in. Of course, you want to leave a space for your windows and your doors. Okay, and then I'm going to do my roof for this level. So on these haunted houses, everything's kind of pointy looking. This one here, we're going to do it the same way. It's going to come back out like so. Like I said with it, we're just going to do the one window in the center. And then all this gets colored in black. And then again, flat top, come down to a little point here where it meets the building. And then another vertical rectangle, leave a window in it, and a little pointy roof. You'll see this better. It'll stand out a little more as soon as I get the lights in it. I'm gonna turn the flash on and see if that helps. There you go. You can kind of see it now better. See, it's purple. Okay. So I'm going to give the house just a moment to dry before I go in and add any of the other details. And we're going to start in on this one. This one here, because it's so dark. Let me turn the flash on so you can see just how dark. This is the orange one. It doesn't really even look orange, but it is. There's a tint of orange and brown to it. So since I made it so dark, my idea on it was going to be a black tree with a white spider web coming down, and then I'm going to put little spiders on it. Well, because I can't clearly use black for the tree, it will not show. I think I'm going to make the tree brown. We're just going to do a spooky tree. We're going to bring the ground across right about here, same as the other, about 2/3 of the way down. We're going to do this on both coasters. We're going to take, and we're just going to kind of twist and curl the pin as we're going. These trees are old and they're just nothing but limbs. There's no leaves on them. They're just creepy old trees. Kind of remind you of the trees off of the Wizard of Oz. Very creepy trees that feel like could reach out and grab you. Excuse me. So today is my birthday. I've had an amazing day. My wonderful friends came over when I woke up today and brought over sparklers and sung happy birthday to me and gave me one of my presents. And then some of my other friends came by this evening and we went to the casino, which was a lot of fun. I didn't win, but hey, it was still a lot of fun. So I've had a very blessed day. Lots and lots of birthday wishes from family and friends. So these trees will not be identical, clearly, but they would be fairly close. And you can look up trees like this on your phone if you're not sure how to draw them yourself. You can even buy stickers, I'm sure. Spooky stickers. And you can Mod Podge stickers and put them in there. If you have a printer, you can print off spooky trees. Cut them out and put them in. You do want to clear coat them with Mod Podge both sides. Let it thoroughly dry. The Mod Podge does dry clear, so you don't have to worry about it. I've done it a lot with photos, putting photos in resin, and they turn out great. Alright, we're going to put a hole right here. Okay, so I have my trees done. So now I'm going to take my little white pen here. And I think I'm going to start right up here in this corner. I think I'm going to bring the spider web across. Okay, so I brought one line down. I'm going to start right here in the same spot, and I'm going to bring another one down. And another one. Another one. And one more right here. Okay, so spider webs, you want to go this way. little U's. Alright, here's my little tree with my spider web. I'm going to give those some time to dry, and then we will come back and finish this one here. We're going to put the lights in the window of the house and the moon. And then, like I said, I'll put you on hold. We'll come back. We'll add the bats and the spiders. And give this a final coat of resin. And then unmold our finished product. Alright. So this one is done. Alright, so we're going to move these two out of the way. They are done and ready for the spiders. Little spiders we're going to glue on there. This one here, I'm going to take my black paint pen and I'm going to add some little spots into the gravel here. Just make it look like rocks. You don't have to do this. It's totally up to you how you make your path. If you make a path, you can add whatever designs you want to yours. There's no rules. This is art. You make it the way you want it and the way it makes you happy. Alright. My yellow is shaking up really good here. So we're going to put a pretty good sized moon over here. We want our bats flying across the moon. Okay, and we're also going to color in the windows of the house. I'm just dabbing the windows on. Works a little better than trying to color in on the slick resin, just dabbing it on when you got just a little small area like this you're trying to fill in. Alright. So, let me show you these right quick. I turn the light on right on the camera, the flash on, so you can see this. So this is the one of them. We're going to put little spiders on here. I have little bitty tiny spiders. Here's the other one. And then the haunted houses. See, now you can see the haunted house a little better when you have the lights in it. And we're going to do little bats flying up across the top. Here's the other haunted house. Like I said, you can buy stickers I have some stickers that I got in a set here. Oh, where did I get them? Maybe I moved them. I'll show you them when I get back, but they're little spider stickers. You could use something like that if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be painted on. But if you feel like you want to try it, you know, if it messes up, as long as it's still pretty wet, you can wipe this off fairly quickly. So it's fairly forgiving. But we're going to let these dry really, really good before we go putting our bats and spiders on. So I'll be back with you. Bye. Alright, hey guys, I'm back. Just so you know, I did go in off camera and I made our moon a little bigger because I got my bats in, and if you notice, the bats are pretty good size. I did glue the bat down. One of them has come loose, but I just didn't want the bats flying around in the resin. And here's our little spiders. Spiders are a little thicker. I'm hoping that I can cover them good enough with the resin, because I don't know if you can see how thick they are. They are higher than my mold, but they are super cute, and I just wanted to use them. So, worst case scenario, I'll draw a hole in them, and we will use these as sun catchers instead of coasters. Just because I think they're really neat, and I don't want to try to make them smaller. Okay, so my resin is made up. I used just shy of about 2.5 ounces of resin. This should be plenty. I've got another mold, so in case it is a little bit left over, I've got a couple jewelry molds that I can put some in. But this should be just about right to cover it. I have stirred this already. So let's go ahead and do the bat one first. I'm just going to pour a little bit in each one to start with. Pour some on top here. Right on the little bats. It's been a long video, guys. I apologize, but hopefully it's been informative, and I hopefully you enjoy it. Once we're done here, we will come back tomorrow evening. I'm going to get home from work, and we will film the rest of the video. We will show demolding, which is the best part. It's been so hard not to do it. I wanted to take them out and see how they turned out. So bad. I'm just taking the popsicle stick here, and I'm moving my resin around, making sure it's all the way up to the edges. Alright, that's looking good. So here, we're going to do something with it. Make sure our resin's everywhere. Cover our little spiders up here. Okay, here's our next one. Make sure we're all the way up to the edge. And so we got some good projects coming up, guys. We are going to do a bloom acrylic pour. Renskadona. Her blooms are just beautiful. I've been watching her a lot, and try one. And I didn't have a good deal. She actually spins them after she does it, and I've been wanting to do it, and I did not have a good Lazy Susan. I had one I made. Just so you know, you can make one, guys. The one I made was alright, but it just didn't spin very well. So for my birthday, somebody got me an Amazon gift card, so I have one on Amazon and thoroughly enjoyed shopping. And I bought myself a Lazy Susan. Okay, so my little spiders definitely need some more here. I think this one's about good. I need to get the resin all the way over to the edge on this one, though. So we're going to pour a little bit more on each one. Okay, so that one's got more on it. Around here. That's pretty. Can't wait to demold these. This purple one especially. These look so neat. Very excited to see how they turn out. And we're going to do some more Halloween projects, guys. I love Halloween. Like I said before, my favorite holiday probably. We are going to try some other stuff, just as a to kind of let you know what all we're going to do a little bit of. We are going to do some more resin. Not sure if it's going to be coasters or what, but we're going to do resin again. I actually got I'm going to try to make my own molds, and I am making my own resin inlays. This is going to be for an inlay. I could actually even use this as a mold after I use it for the inlay, but I don't want it to get ruined, so I'm going to use it to make my inlay with. I'm also going to try making my own silicone molds, but here's another inlay that I did. And I'm trying to make a geode inlay, and if this works, we will go through a tutorial on how I did it. I've also purchased some sea creatures. We are going to try to do some resin molds so we can actually make some of these. They're little inexpensive plastic figures, but they actually have some pretty good little texture on them. If you look, the little fishy here has got some really nice scales on him. Very, very cute. But we got a whole bag of sea animals, underwater sea animals, and we're going to play around with those some. Like I said, we got some paintings. I bought a whole bunch of new canvases. I think we're going to get a charcuterie board from Dollar Tree, and we're going to do some wood burning and maybe some resin on it. Just so we can kind of play around with that. I've been wanting to get my wood burning gun out. But yeah, these are probably instead of coasters because these little spiders sit up so high. Probably not going to be coasters. I'm probably going to make them sun catchers, which is fine because I have some chain and I have, I can drill a hole through them with my drill and hang them up in the sun. Alright, so we're going to give these 24 hours to cure, guys. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more here so you can kind of see them. I don't want to move them around a whole lot. Here we go. Spinning around here. So you can see these guys. I can't wait to unmold them. See you tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, I'm back. Alright, here's for the best part of any resin. Of course, this one's not a surprise because we can see the front of the mold. Everything's hardened. Uh, my little deals, let me pull them out of here. We're going to go ahead and pull them out, guys. Oh, I love them. They're so pretty. This resin is such beautiful resin. Again, it's Dr. Resin. It's just a brand I bought. I think I paid, I want to say less than $20 for 16 ounces of resin. It is a one-to-one mixed casting and coating resin. Here's my spiders. Turn the flash on here so we have a little bit of light. See my little spiders? See how they're raised? You can kind of see them. They are embedded in the resin, and there's resin over the top of them, but they are still part of them sticking up. Oh, those are pretty. Very, very pretty. Look at that. Oh, these turned out so nice. Demold so easy. Alright, let me find something here to shine behind it. I'm going to put you on a brief pause. I'm going to go grab a flashlight so you can see the colors. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so this is going to kind of let you see what these look like. Okay, so we've got our pretty one here. See the purple? I think these would be really pretty sun catchers. My purple turned out good. Let's see how my orange turned out, if I have any orange left at all. Oh, that turned out nice. There is still orange in there. And in this one here. So what I'm going to do when I make these into sun catchers, I have a little fake Dremel here. It is cordless. And of course it's dead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw a hole through here. And then you can either run like a string through there or a cord. I have chain. I'm going to put a little chain on it, maybe a little hook on the end. And then you can hang that in your window. You could hang it out on a porch if you have a patio. Very pretty. So, that is them. Love them, love them. I don't know which way. Yeah, this way. Here we go. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Alright, well, thank you guys. If you like this video, be sure and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. If you want to have something you're interested in seeing, leave a comment in the comment section below. I will respond back to you. Again, thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, guys.